Virtual Daggerwin's driving lessons must be coming along. He's upgraded to something with wheels. Hello everybody and welcome back to Survival Challenge. So as you can see, I'm just right at the end of the windrowing. I started this in the previous episode, I've been doing some off camera, and yes, we are right at the end. So we can put this away in just a second, and then we need to grab the baler so that we can obviously bale all of this. It'll be grass bales, but then I'm going to come along with the wrapper, and then that will convert them into silage bales once they're fermented. So yeah, it's obviously a huge job, but the rewards are great, so it's fine. We're going to do very well out of it. So just get that folded up, get it taken back to the farm, and yes, we'll put the baler onto the back. Now obviously we are using the same baler as before. At some point in the fairly near future we're probably going to have to look into getting a bigger baler, but the only thing which is of concern is that we have to make sure the wrapper is compatible. I suppose the other alternative is to create a pit. Could get a silage pit with a forage wagon. Yeah, haven't looked into the prices. I think you can get some pretty small ones, but now that we've got that big field, I think a small one for this farm would actually not be appropriate. So yeah, we're just going to have one episode, this episode, where we are really going up and down that field many times. And well, the worst of it actually was the windrowing, I think, because that's now condensed it into fewer swaths. And yeah, it shouldn't be too bad doing the baling. Of course, with it being a round baler, we will have to keep stopping. But it wasn't fertilised, so it can't have yielded that well. Right, the first bale is actually ready to pop out. We still have the straw over there to bale, plus we have the oat field to harvest. But the priority is this area over here, because I really want to get the subsoiler so that we can, well, plough it, because then we can analyse the soil. Okay. So, just head down here. Already full. That didn't take long. Automatic drop. Yeah, this is actually going to be quite interesting. This first full bale that we create, obviously excluding this one. See how long it's actually going to take to make one of them. Oh wow, that's filling up really quickly. Blimey, this is quite a job. And it's not even all the field. The other section over there is going to be hay. Okay, bale number 2. I'm not worried about the wrapping. The wrapping always feels like it's going to be a huge job, but it absolutely flies by. Clearing the bales will be a bigger job, but we've got the big bale trailer, so it shouldn't be too bad. Just got to keep thinking that this is all for a huge amount of money. It feels like a chore, but it has a very high reward. Right, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to try and get the whole field done. We'll have to see how we go. But it's the way it is. Can't really make the job any faster. But that's already 3. Technically 2 and a bit. We're slowly getting there. So far we have produced 34 bales. Yes, it's going to be a bit of a challenge doing everything in this field. Every single job is going to be slow because we have pretty small equipment, so we can't really expect it to be fast. One day though, we'll be set up for it. But that is the exact reason why we're starting with smaller fields. I would love it if by the end of this episode I have got the subsoiler. I've done a test strip at least, and then we've analysed the soil, because I really want to know exactly which soil type we have. We think that we know. I always get it back to instead of sandy loam or loamy sand. I think we're looking for loamy sand, aren't we? That was probably the opposite. Let's just have a quick look. It is the opposite. We're looking for sandy loam. The green colour, not the yellow. Of course, it could be something else. We could have loam, silty clay around here. In fact, it wouldn't be too surprising if we did have silty clay lower down. But we shall see. So we've got that piece there left to do. We are getting there, but it looks like we are going to be potentially hitting about 50 bales in total. So that's going to be 50 wrapped bales, 50 bales to load up. It would be so nice to have an auto stacker, but obviously we don't have that luxury. One day we will have the luxury, but we just don't have the money because, well, the small amount of money that we do have is going to be spent on the subsoiler, which I know I did ban. It is banned for the smaller fields up there, but now that we've expanded, yeah, it makes perfect sense. It would have been too easy if we'd used it before. Like in the first 20 episodes, yeah, it would have been silly. But now I think we can probably justify it. Anyway, another bale about to pop out. There we go. So many. What are we on? Should probably keep the statistics open. 37. Yeah, it should be done in the next 10 minutes. We're finally at the end. Can have a sigh of relief. But yes, of course, this is not the end. It's only the end of the baling. I think the baling was probably the most repetitive job though of all. Out of the baling, wrapping and loading. Okay, so we probably could go along and try and find another 29% to be able to finish this bale. Don't know if we need to. I suppose it would make sense to, otherwise it's not very thorough. But yeah, we're doing very well for bales now. I'll just get it from over here. It was supposed to be for hay, but yeah, might as well finish it off. Okay, and there we go. 100%. So, once that one has popped out of the back, I can see the grand total. This field has produced 43 bales. And it's not even all of the land that we purchased. We have all of that as well. I probably did actually do more than I should have done for silage. It would have been good to have more hay. But then again, depends where you look at it, we can now make loads of money. So let's go and pop this away. We'll get the wrapper. I think I'll probably stick with this tractor. We're going to be using the Massey Ferguson for moving them. So it'll become very hectic. And actually, my timing is quite good because it'll take 2 days or 2 months to ferment. So it's going to be August, September time, and that's when the price is really starting to go up again. July is the worst month. So yeah, for producing them, it's not a bad time. That's where I put the seed a few episodes ago. I don't think I showed anybody, but yeah, I put it into there. There we go. And I'll try and... I probably should have put that way further across. Yeah, we'll now try and struggle with this, try and squeeze it through. There we go, good. Okay, so it is coming up to 4:45 in the evening. We can rest if we want to. If it starts to go dark, it's fine. The grass will start to regrow a bit, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be cut down anyway, so yeah. I'm not going to cut it for a second time. Not this area. The other area, possibly. The bit that hasn't been done yet. But now we do indeed have the challenge of wrapping 43 bales. I was just thinking when I was over there, I love being right down level with the river. It's very nice. This field just goes straight into the river. Okay, what a daunting view. As I said though, it can't be too bad. Wrapping does tend to fly. Well, it does with 8 bales. Not too sure with 43. We'll soon find out. This is what I mean, it's like going down to the beach. I love it, it's really nice. Although I don't have a problem with the cliff either, where the farm is on the cliff. In fact, that's good because of flooding. Lovely. Go for a nice swim. And I think we do own this part of the lake. Well, technically we don't actually. Same with the piece at the top. For some reason, yeah, the lake is excluded. But yeah, we have access to it, which is nice. Okay, so I think we're getting there. We don't have too many more left to go. Just a handful, probably about 8. So the majority have been done. No doubt I've missed one, it's very easy to miss them. But if I have, not a problem, we'll just take it back to the farm. And in fact, I'll probably just keep it as a grass bale, because you never know when you might need one. We're going to be getting sheep fairly soon. As soon as the money allows us to. We could even get sheep with the money that we generate from the silage. It would be good timing, because by then we'll have the other half of this field cut. So we'll have hay. We could just have grass. I could just leave these now. But I think it probably would be a good idea to have as much silage as possible for money. Because after spending £170,000, yes, I think the farm is feeling a bit poor. Quite rich in assets now, but yeah, in the bank, not a great deal. So that's all done. We've got another bale over there. I can see we've got one here. Oh, this one's probably going to roll away. Yeah, it might roll into those two. They can support each other. Yeah, I think that is it though. Like, we don't have a bale counter for this. Oh no, look, rain. Oh no, that's fine. Silage, of course, they're all protected in their own cosy little housings. Their own little wrap. Did that one go for a swim? Oh no, it's still going. Okay. Right. It looks... oh, there's one over there. I'll just go and grab that. I don't even know how I missed it. I must have been looking straight at it. But that's got to be it. Okay, so I'm going to look into the subsoilers now. I'm going to start clearing these, but we only have to clear a small section to be able to do our test strip. So yeah, let's just press X, fold it up. I'll put it back into the shed. Oh, I've still got the straw out. It doesn't really want to get wet. Although if it's going to be nice and sunny after the rain, then that's fine. Got a bit more space now to be able to get this in. Yeah, I'll put this onto the trailer. I always like to have a tractor attached to the trailer when I'm moving them. I always feel it's going to roll away, even though it does have a few chocks under it. I'm very tempted to do at least 2 test strips. I could even just avoid the bales. Yeah, one on this far right hand side and one sort of down the centre. I'm just going to put the trailer here. There we go. Right, this is more expensive than I thought it was. I think it's going to be worth going for the largest though, because although it says 320 horsepower, we will be able to run it, I'm fairly sure, because I've used this before and I remember saying the same thing. So we need £19,000. Obviously we are going to get £19,000 from the canola, which is still stored in the trailer just over here. But how do we get £19,000 quickly? Because it's not going to be, the price isn't right for that until September. Unless of course it's going to be a miracle. It is going up. Did I say September? I meant November. Yeah, the price could still be higher early though, so it's not the end of the world. Right, what a pickle. Do we have anything that we don't need? The plough. Of course, it's going to replace the plough. Yeah, I think it would be worth selling that. We should be able to get maybe £10,000 for it. So that would get us pretty close. We're going to need the New Holland again. Yeah, the subsoiler was allowed in Series 1 and 2. So I've already made it more challenging by not allowing it for these smaller areas. I'm going to stick with that. I'm not going to use it on these 2 fields. Basically anything in plot 34. But it will be used in 36 and everything beyond. Let's really hope for the best. I really want to get a good price for this. It's had very little use. Okay, we don't even have to lower it, but I will do. So, repair it, £5. They're going to give us about 9.5. I will repaint it. Okay. So yeah, we've got 17,000. Is that enough to buy the smaller version? It might be. It is. And I suppose, yeah, this is customizable in the future, so we can always upgrade it. We buy this, we buy the base model, and then we can come back, basically customize the configuration, and for £2,000 extra, we can go for the 9. So we'll go with that. Also, yes, if we can't run it for whatever reason, at least we haven't wasted £2,000. So we have £61 left. We really were cutting that fine. Very close, but it does mean I can do some test strips, and we can figure out exactly what soil type we have. There may be multiple soil types, but that is the exact reason why we're going to do some samples. I find it very interesting. It is fascinating because we don't know what there is under there, and it will really determine what crops we put in and what we do with the land. Because if there's some really bad areas, then those areas might be better off having buildings on them or trees. I'm going to have to put a new track in, aren't I? Another track from further down. But look at that sea of bales. Unbelievable. So obviously our sampling machine takes a radius. So we don't want to have this so small that we're basically wasting an area. It needs to be wide enough for that. So yeah, I'm going to clear every bale from this path in front of us. It's only about 6 or 7 bales, and then I'll do the same over there somewhere. So just lower this down, drop it off, put it back onto the trailer, and then we can bring the Massey Ferguson over here and we can start to load them up. I'll load them up in 2s. We're not going to get every bale on the trailer though, when I do come to eventually load everything. But yeah, it's going to have to be sold in stages, because they haven't even fermented. Right. We still have the Isaria Scout on the back. I suppose it will act as a counterweight, but no, I should probably go with the bigger weight. I can't imagine that piece of very sensitive, expensive equipment is going to be very heavy. Some of these bales really don't like me. That one which was being repelled by the other one. It's crazy. Every single time you go close to one of the bales with another bale, it makes it roll away. That is annoying. I do prefer the square bales though. I've said this all along. The Hestons are my favourite. But I think that is probably enough bales cleared for this area, for this test strip. 6 there. So I'll just turn the engine off. We'll get this one attached. I think there might be one further up which is in the way. Well, it's not in the way because I can just... We don't need to be quite so thorough. The soil types don't change that rapidly. Okay, so I'm going to follow this line, and it will also rip out those shrubs further down. Yep, we'll just go up to here. I did actually do a soil sample in the previous episode, but it didn't work because it hasn't been ploughed. Well, at least I don't think it worked. Did it work? If it's registering where I've just done the subsoiling, then it did work. I don't think so. Anyway, let's get this done. I think it recommended up to 17 miles per hour. It's a little bit fast for me, I think. Knock it down to 13-ish. I believe it takes a minute or two for it to actually register on the soil map. So yeah, we've just got that little piece showing currently, but soon we should have a great big line going across. And just because I'm doing this line diagonally across the field, it doesn't mean that's where the field is going to be, because some of it might be re-drilled as grass. I'll be making some nice, neat fields eventually. This is just to figure out, well, where to put them. We don't want to put fields where it's rubbish. So, this has to be done first. Okay, head back up. Has that updated? Yes, it has. So you can see currently it says nothing at all. I thought one of those was for no data, but actually it's not. It will go like a purpley colour once we have taken the sample. But I did take the sample up here, and yeah, it's not registered. So that was £50 down the drain, and we only have £47. But I'm sure we can sell some maple syrup. That's not a bad width. I think it'd be nice to have one more if we come back up again. So I'll just get these few bales moved, because I don't want to be wasting our soil sampling area. It's also now starting to go quite dark, so if we can finish this, then soil sample this strip, this test strip, before it does go dark, that would be great. There we go. Yeah, so I'll go and pop that pallet of maple syrup into the sell point. Get that solved really quickly. And that'll fund the soil sampling. That should be a big enough area, I hope. Obviously it's ideal if you can do the entire field when it's been cultivated, but it is just to give us an idea. We can do it even more thorough once it has all been done. So jump into the tractor, pick up the pallet, come back and get the analyzer underway. And that trailer's going to have to be much neater than that because we have so many to transport. I don't want to be doing loads and loads of partial loads. And some lights on, it's getting very dull. Oh, nice, we have 2. And yeah, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I'm no longer bothered about when I sell these. The reason why is because it takes very little work to generate a pallet, and it's free, except for a little bit of diesel. The diesel which is consumed towing the tanker to the lake. The only expense is water and diesel, and the water is not even mains, so yep, nice and easy. Same with the tomatoes. Obviously it's nice if we get the maximum price, but for these two I shouldn't be too concerned. Obviously we need the maximum price possible for crops and anything which we've put a lot of work into. Whoa, that was close. How did I not lose that? We do need a smaller weight on the back, it's making it launch into the air. Okay, there's the trigger. Good, so that's funded that nicely. Wow, almost £2,500. And now we can get rid of the weight and put our lovely soil analyzer onto the back. Now because we are just doing a few samples, it really won't take too long for these to come in. Yeah, it's still a bit narrow actually. Well, as I said, we can do more samples later. These are just going to be in random areas, they're not even going to be connected. They just don't need to be. I think probably 3 in total, so one at the top, one in the centre, and one at the bottom. Is the number 36 in the centre? Yep, looks like it is. So we're doing another one right here. And then finally, let's get down to those trees. When we come to do the nice fields, we have to cover everything, otherwise we're not going to know exactly how much fertilizer to apply to all the different areas. Okay, right, so that should give us a pretty good idea of what soil type is running through our land. I'll send off those samples to the lab, and as there's only 3, they should get the results back to us in maybe 5 seconds. The money will disappear and the results will appear on the map. Okay, let's just wait. Always fun to play the waiting game. There we go, £150 is gone. We have... oh, we do have 2 different crop types. Blimey, there is a transition there. Right at the bottom of that field. So we have loam. This is a shock. We have loam and we have sandy loam. And it goes back to loam again. I think there's going to be quite a few people who are watching this video who are also very surprised by the result. Because I know that many people were recommending 36 to me because it likely had sandy loam over the majority of it, but it actually looks like we mostly have loam. Now, is this good or bad? I don't know. I'm going to have to try and look into this. Okay, I don't know, but I think it's a good thing that we have loam. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a better soil type than loamy sand. So, if anybody I'm going to look into it after this video, but if anybody has any more information for me as to whether or not this is better or worse than sandy loam, then please do post down below. But I think we should probably put this down as a good thing. I think we should be celebrating that we don't have loamy sand, because that really doesn't seem good at all. Anyway, We will discover more about 36 in the future. For now, I'm going to wrap things up. Next week we're going to be really transforming this field. Hopefully clear all the bales and sell them, make loads of money. And, well, actually, by this time next week, hopefully, this field is already not recognisable, and it already has various different crops growing in it, with our own different fields. Lots to do though, but I'm pleased that we've got this far. Because when I started the episode today and I saw all of those swaths of grass, I thought, oh wow, we're not going to progress at all. And I think we have done. So, that's good. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.